Can you hear us now?
Yeah, got it. Can
Okay.
you hear me?
Yes, we got it. You're just in your vehicle. Are you able to meet for,
Yeah, I'm in the truck.
are you all good?
I stopped.
Okay, where are you at?
Where? I'm just about, I just passed Bruderheim, so I'm just kind of
That's
highway
Alberta.
15.
That's
I'm
Alberta.
just about to Edmonton.
That's Alberta.
Edmonton's in Alberta, yeah.
No, Bruderheim. Bruderheim. Where is that?
Yeah, it's north of Edmonton a little bit.
Okay.
So,
It's not like
there we go.
It's not like Saskatchewan. It has more than a 7-Eleven.
Yeah. More than a 7-Eleven. There's Mikey.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Make it bigger.
Everybody's early.
How's the hammies?
My hammies are good. I'm joined.
How do I make this?
On the brand review. Okay.
Yeah, I know, you're on a tiny screen. I don't know how you're going to see anything.
Yeah.
Are you just on your phone, Brad?
Yeah, I'm just on my phone.
Okay.
Well, I will, download it and send you guys a PDF so you can see, and I'm going to send questions and whatnot, so you guys can really think this over.
Okay.
I did this meeting on my own personal Gmail account, and it just gave me a warning that I only have an hour. And I bet you we'll be right towards the end, and we'll all have to get out and log back in. But I'm not sure. I've never done it from my own personal one. I just didn't want to use my work one.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, why are you in a meeting room? Just branding someone. All right, do we have everybody?
Yeah.
Looks like.
Okay.
Except Monique, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's working.
Okay, so I normally would have this whole thing memorized, and I wouldn't be reading. But I'm going to read because I'm not going to stress myself out. Okay, guys? So there's going to be a lot of reading back and forth on my notes. So I'm reading. I'm just going to admit it. I will be reading a lot. All right.
That's fine, Jennifer. We appreciate everything.
I figured as much. I was like, I'm not going to stress myself out of this. Okay. All right. So Prairie Charm.
Stressful
You
was
have
the
a
questionnaire.
glass of wine?
I just got coffee, a brand new fresh cup of
I
coffee.
poured wine.
Okay, so shall we start?
Let's go.
Ready to go.
Okay. All right, so in this whole presentation, I'm going over branding versus marketing. First of all, am I too loud for anybody? Do I sound like I'm yelling? Do I need to bring it down a bit? Okay.
Oh, not the bit.
External.
No, good.
Okay, external branding design. We're going to go over your brand archetype. We're going to go through some competitors and competitor information. I'm going to give you 3 color board options to choose from. We're going over 2 logo design concepts so I can start doing something in the correct direction and not waste time in a different direction. And then we have next steps that we're going to go over. All right, so first of all, branding is why and marketing is how. So branding describes your brand. With marketing, it communicates the brand's message. Branding builds loyalty and recognition. Branding generates responses like gigs. Branding is the being the brand. Marketing is doing. It's the advertising. Branding is consistent. Marketing can vary with different campaigns, one-offs, but as long as your branding is consistent with it. Now, do you know of any products that have failed due to bad marketing? Anyone can think of anything?
No.
All right. Well, I'll give you one. There was a new Coke that came out that also Pepsi decided to do one. It was called Clear Pepsi. And just because it was clear, people didn't trust it. You know, they have great branding behind them. Pepsi and Coca-Cola are masters of it, yet when they have bad marketing, things don't work out as well. Also, Microsoft came out with Zune, if you guys can remember that. And while, you know, Microsoft is Microsoft, they're a giant, they were competitive with iPad, and they had poor marketing, and Apple's dominance went way over them, and the product went away. So,
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
You yourself, we can hear you eating.
What? You cannot.
sounds like a bird chirping or clicking or something.
My clingers.
Just
Oh,
mute
that-
and then unmute when you
There you go. That was it. That was it. All right. So the key takeaway from this one is that branding sets the stage for effective marketing. Without a strong brand identity and messaging, even great products can struggle to succeed in the market. All right. What are some benefits of branding? So we've got customer recognition, customer loyalty, credibility. It gives you confidence. There's consistency, brand equity, attracts talents, and allows shared values. So what does that mean for Prairie Charm? So for customer recognition, that would look like you're establishing a unique identity that makes Prairie Charm memorable among fans and audiences. Customer loyalty, you're building your fan base, and this is how you identify with your brand values and music. Credibility, 100% branding enhances your credibility and your professionalism. You sound great, you look great, your swag is fun. Confidence boost. It instills confidence in all band members, which allows for each of you to express your unique talents and personality on the stage. Consistency. Maintaining brand elements such as logo imagery and messaging across all promo, matters, and online platforms reinforces Prairie Charm's brand identity and values. Equity will build over time. Talent and attraction will build with that as well. And we're talking about attracting collaborators, recruitment, or even future reps. So the key takeaway from this one is that consistent branding starts the fan base, builds credibility, and you start to stand out from other competitors. Does branding have to be boring? You know, like we love Starbucks, but when you think about their main colors, it's green, black, white, and earth tone browns. Oopsie daisy. Not really. So I talked to you guys a little bit about one-offs the other time where you can, like, you know, if you guys end up having a logo, you can have the logo on your shirt, but you can also do really fun, cool stuff with it. And there are one-offs, and you can dive into that and build swag and promo and all that. And we can get into that down the road. And so what have we set out to accomplish? So this is what I can do for you guys. This is all the things that I'm able to do, and I will tell you where I'm not strong in some areas, which is copywriting and whatnot, but I can assist you guys. I have people on my side that constantly help me out, so if you guys need help, I can ask them. But so I can help you with logo design, archetype, color palettes, typography, brand identity sheets, electronic business cards, swag, posters, brochures, websites, and online presence, okay? It's a lot of stuff. Okay. All right, so your ideal audience. Why does this matter? So from your brand questionnaire, I've gotten that you guys are looking at 30 plus age groups, Gen X boomers, male female mixes, blue collar professionals. You're going to be in Edmonton or Calgary or anywhere in between. Their lifestyle and aspirations is that they like a work-life balance, they work hard, play hard mentality. They might be in retirement planning stage and they've got some desire to travel a little bit. They enjoy going out. They love drinks. They love live music. This is your audience. So why is this important? Why go over this? So by listing this out, we have a shared understanding of your target demographic. This will help with marketing strategy development and crafting marketing strategies tailored to resonate with the intended audience. And it keeps your messaging consistent, developing a message that speaks directly to the desires and aspirations of the ideal audience. And you're tailoring this whole thing based on this, and everything that I'm going to go over in this guide is basically like a map on exactly how to do this. All right. Okay, so if you're kind of wondering in the back of your head, like, what does that sound like? Like, she keeps talking about key messaging, but we haven't even really tried to put a message on any of our posters or put anything. I mean, I don't know, right? So just to like give you guys a sense of that, it could look like in the world of music, Prairie Charm isn't merely a choice. It's the heartbeat of nostalgia, the harmony of family bonds, the rhythm that keeps toes tapping, and the melody that echoes through generations. You guys are talking about how you're dealing with family and you want to be nostalgic. So we're pulling out these kinds of words and we're trying to communicate with our audience kind of in this area. Does everyone agree with this, or am I not in the right?
No.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Very good, yeah.
Love it.
Where's the thumbs up?
All right. How you all said you wanted to be perceived. You wanted to be family oriented. You wanted to be professional, approachable, talented, fun-loving, well-rounded, authentic, and engaging. Does everyone agree on this?
Yeah.
How you all said you do not want to be perceived. Negative energy, monotonous, dull, lackluster, uncoordinated, screechy, nervous, and uninspired. Yes, Brad?
What?
You said you raised your hand. You raised your hand. Yeah, it said Brad raised his hand.
You put your hand
I
up when
thought
you
it was
ask
the
questions.
clown.
I was like, ooh, a question.
What's your
Oh, there we go.
So when I first started branding, this quote, like at the beginning, I was like, whatever. But as I have worked with branding people, this is more and more evident every time. So brand is just perception, and perception will match reality over time. It's a quote from Elon Musk. It starts out from building your brand, telling your story, perception starts to turn into your reality, and you get brand recall from your fans and event organizers, and people build trust, and you go forward from there. So at the end of this, might be overwhelming, but it'll be yours in the end, and you can learn to live with it and embrace it, and soon enough, you'll hit the ground running with it. Okay, brand archetype. So how do we start to build out who you are? Okay, you all filled out your brand questionnaires, which was great. Thank you for that. And the other step is to establish a brand archetype. Is anyone familiar with brand archetypes?
Archetypes.
Okay, all right. So there was a philosopher, whatever he's called, or not, a psychologist, and his name was Carl Jung. Not a philosopher, a psychologist. My bad. Carl Jung. So he basically came up with this wheel and was able to come up with attributes, core attributes that fall into these certain categories, and whatever brand archetype you fall under, you kind of live by those set values and those rules that are assigned by them. And just to give you a couple of scenarios, Apple is considered a creator of innovation. Dove is innocent and safety. The BBC is a sage, their knowledge. The North Face is the explorer and freedom. Harley Davidson is like your outlaw and your liberation. Disney, magician and power. Nike is your hero and mastery. Godiva Chocolates is lover and intimacy. Old Spice, gesture and pleasure. IKEA, everyman and belonging. UNICEF, caregiver and service. And Hugo Boss, a ruler and a control. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, archetypes, for Prairie Charm to understand your archetype, it's pivotal in crafting a narrative and fostering audience connections. By aligning with a specific archetype, with this, you can invoke emotions, differentiate yourself, establish authenticity. This cohesive framework will guide your storytelling, your visuals, and your messaging. This is ultimately shaping perceptions and driving loyalty among your target demographic. After reading your questionnaires and somewhat knowing you guys, you are an everyman and a caregiver mix, okay? And it's an interesting combination. You're gonna have more than one archetype. I would never recommend 3. That would be something complex. But so for you guys, and I will talk to you about how I got here. So the everyman and caregiver archetype suggests a brand that is relatable, down to earth, and caring. This combination speaks to authenticity, warmth, and a sense of belonging, which can resonate strongly with audiences. It implies a band that is approachable, family-oriented, and focused on creating meaningful connections with your audience. And this blend can help you establish a genuine and trustworthy brand identity, fostering a long-term relationship with your fans. So, like, what does that even look like? Like, I know you guys are just hearing brand archetypes for the first time, so let's go over the everyman. These are core attributes or brand attributes, however you want to look at them, and they're listed right here. And you could use all of these every time you decide to do any kind of marketing or writing a message. If you guys were ever unclear or questioning each other or in a fight, you would go back to these core attributes and you would say, well, you know, Brad, you're telling everybody you want alcohol in these pictures and you want people clinging glasses, and that's not our values or our goals. We're family oriented. We are not here to show or support alcohol or whatever, right? So let's they have values, goals, traits, promise, and ideal customer. Let's take a look at what exactly does that mean for Prairie Charm. So value integration to ensure that all marketing messages and materials reflect the band's core values and family, community, authenticity, and fun. Your goal alignment is highlighting the band's aspirations of connecting with audiences through relatable music and creating memorable experiences at live performances. Trait communication emphasizes the band's approachability, warmth, down-to-earth nature in all communications, including social media posts, website content, and press releases. Promise fulfillment. Showcase how Prairie Charm delivers on its promise of providing enjoyable, danceable music that brings people together and creates a sense of belonging. Ideal customer targeting. Tailor marketing efforts to reach Prairie Charm's ideal audience demographics, including Gen Xers, Boomers, and individual seekers, seeking a balance between work and leisure. And it goes on, and I can print this out for you guys later in life so that you can go back and look at it, because this really is just like bullet point listing. Okay, we continue. Every man has desires, fears, and risks, and these are a few industries that are associated with the everyman archetype. You may, once we go over them, you're going to have an aha moment and be like, oh, I never knew that. All right. So desires of the everyman. You're trying to connect with the audience. You're fostering a sense of community. You're delivering music that's genuine and it resonates with listeners. Your fears. Your rejection or indifference from the audience. Music may not resonate with them. Failure of achieving goals, whether it be a form of unsuccessful performances, lack of recognition, or inability to stay in the music career. Risks. You're investing time, effort, and resources here. You're putting yourselves out there emotionally and artistically. You're pursuing opportunities and venture that may have uncertain outcomes. These are risks. Everyman industries are food and beverage, can be found in food and beverage, automotive, home improvement, and hospitality. To grasp the everyman, let's look at where else it shows up as I read the cue cards. All right. So Levi's, Toyota, Budweiser, and Hampton Inn all aim to appeal to a broad and diverse audience. The everyman archetype represents relatability, authenticity, and inclusivity, making it ideal for brands that seek to connect with everyday people. So this is a few of them, and I always try to put a male and female figure into this when I'm doing this for clients. So Wilson from Home Improvement, he's your everyman guy. He's down to earth. He's always trying to, get Tim back in line and share to him, like, elbow rubbing, like, Tim, you just gotta go, or that's not how you do it. He's full of advice. He's your everyman. And then Drew Barrymore is that girl next door, that down to earth, warmth approaching kind of female. All right? Everybody understand?
Yeah.
Bing. The caregiver. Brand attributes. Okay, so here are their values, goals, traits, promises, ideal customers, and I can print out how this aligns with your key messaging so you guys can read through that at a later time. These are the desires, fears, and risks. So desires of the caregiver is you're trying to inspire positive emotions and uplift your listeners. You're aiming for hope, joy, fun, and optimism. You're creating a sense of belonging and community among your fans. Your fears, music may not resonate with your audience, or you're going to be rejection and have criticism. Risks, you're vulnerable and emotional. Your exposure makes you vulnerable in emotion. Your risk of emotional exhaustion. Your risk of creative stagnation or artist burnout. Now, some industries where you can find caregivers are healthcare, nonprofits, education, children and pet care. There's no surprise here. Some companies that are using the caregivers: Johnson & Johnson, UNICEF, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Everybody loves him. He's like the guy next door. No? Yeah? Maybe? All right. Volvo, Campbell's, good, or good. And Mary Poppins. I mean, she's like the ultimate caregiver, right? Okay. All right. Competitors. So let me tell you how hard this was. Okay, I finally gave up last night and texted Teresa and was like, look, I need competitors, and I have tried so hard, and it is unbelievable how you cannot find any bands. Like, you can find some bands, but I need competitors in order to help you guys do this. But I talked to my brand strategist, and I was like, look, they really don't know who their competitors are. They want to hit the ground running. I want to get them in their right place. How do I do this? So first of all, why is it important to understand your competition? So you find what makes you different from everybody else. You build your vision, your mission, and your values around it, and you market that. That's why this is important. And since we are really unclear about who they are yet, I'm trying to get you guys to take a proactive approach to identify potential competitors and differentiate yourself effectively. So what that looks like is industry research. Obviously, you're going to research. If you see a name that's constantly pulling up and you guys are getting gigs and you're seeing like this person or this group constantly getting them, write their name down so we can look at what they're doing and we can see what they're doing and use it, lose it, whatever. Now, there's online search. You can use platforms and websites, but for most part, I think when you guys attend events and you have live music events and you're at festivals, this is where you want to keep your ears and eyes open and start listening, even talking to your fans when you get to that level. Like, you can have some kind of ditz girl come up to you and be like, oh my God, I love what you did. But there's this other band that came in and they were called Crazy Bens. I don't know. They're so cool too. Listen to what they're saying. Like, you're like, you want to hit this girl on the side of the head, but she might have a point, right? All right, networking. So when you're talking to other,
Hold on one sec. So did you? I sent you 4. Did you
I
get them?
I did, and I will go over. I will go over some
Okay,
stuff.
just wondered if you got them.
Yeah. Okay. So networking. So if you're talking to professionals and you're trying to search for reps, you can also talk to them and be like, hey, who else is in this area? You know, try to get these names down so we can look at them. All right, and then we can compare from there. But for now, okay, you need to know your competition, but show your point of differences. That's why we need this. So serve others with differentiation rather than imitation. And I spelled this wrong. This does not apply to the music you play because you guys are cover bands. I thought I just should put that out there. All right. Brands are less likely to imitate when they define who they are. Okay? So I took 2 of the competitors that Teresa gave me. I don't believe that these are actually your competitors. Maybe these guys are, but I have a feeling like they're under blackjacks because I can't find old school rock and roll anywhere. And also, for them, if you try to search old school rock and roll band, it is like searching, I don't know, white paint. Like how many white paints are gonna pull up?
It's like a million.
I think that was the theme of the night. But if you look
See
down
Alice, right?
I think it's Alice.
Yeah, it says see Alice or Alice. I don't know. Again, this is
Yeah.
this is marketing and branding that does not help these people out. Like I even put
No,
see
for
Alice.
sure.
Yeah, I put in see Alice Edmonton. I got nothing. I just kept getting blackjacks over and over again.
Right.
And as far as the dueling divas go, when you guys start seeing competitors, what we will do is we will get their logo, we will get their colors out, the typography that they use. But you want to look on their websites. Like, do they have social links on their website that go to their social links? Dueling Divas does not. And to me, that's like a no-brainer. You should be having all of that tied to your account. And do they have any branding that they do? Not really. They just stick to black and white photography and they let their glitter show through and they've got a lot of red, white, and black that's throughout of it. It's really simple, very straightforward, nothing really to like compete with. But you want to ask yourself when you see these competitors is what do they specialize in? How far of a reach do they have? Where are they showing up in other like trying to do research? I came across a lot of like gig like people that you can like pay to be on and people can hire you through there, you know, but I never saw like anything that was worth my time. Like nobody is branding themselves. Nobody. Like there is branding, but it's very little. Like you guys are in good hands. That's what I'm trying to say. You're in good hands. All right. All right, color boards. Now, based off of your guys' questionnaire and a bit of advertising education, I listen to the words you guys choose to tell me about your brand, and I take the words and make them resonate with your personality of Prairie Charm. You know, I'm trying to think like, do we have earthy tones in here that reflect the connection to the land? Are we using vibrant hues to convey energy and liveliness? So I also take in the appeal to the target audience. You guys give me an age to work with, right? I'm not going to hook you up with neon colors if you're like 30 plus, 40, you're telling me you're in retirement, you know, like it just isn't, it's not going to work. And I'm trying to, you know, also look at as much like band singers out there as possible. Like these girls that we just saw, red, white, and black. Woo! Like really simple stuff, okay? I'm trying to differentiate you guys from here. So, and there's like also an emotional impact that you see like when you pull into something. I think like I even started giving up at one point. I was like, I'm just going to go to 3 heavy hitters. I think I was like Little Big Town, somebody else, Chris Stapleton. What are they doing? Like, what do their websites look? I know they're at the top of the line, but whatever, we can still follow what they're doing. So, and even when you go into like Little Big Town's official site, there's a look and feel that you get of professionalism. All right, this palette I'm trying to reflect the band's connection to the prairies, okay?
Wow, that is so awesome.
Yeah, very much so.
Okay.
Just
I'm-
throwing it out, but the drums here look amazing.
This is called a mood board. The colors are here on the side. This is the kind of colors, like when you guys tell me that you're warm and you're inviting and you want to be approachable, these are the kind of colors that you fill in the gaps with. So right here, I'm trying to connect you to the prairies. It's in your name. I'm trying to ground you into an approachable nature, and it's full of rustic charm and nostalgia of cozy campfires. As far as I'm concerned, campfires are made for family and friends, are they not? You know, they have other traditional values to them, but for the most part, I would say it's pretty safe to say that you all grew up around a campfire with a guitar in your hand. All right, so this is the down to earth, passionate, and full of warmth. Option 1. Option 2. This palette features a balance of cool and warm tones. It's your yin and your yang, your male and your female, your brother and your sister. This is a sophisticated, tranquil, and earthy palette. The blues kind of represent wisdom, integrity, and trust, and it also could represent the commitment to deliver high-quality music and memorable performances. Slate evens everything out here, and the warm colors bring the charm and down-to-earth feel. We have cinnamon that adds that warmth energy. Dare I even say spice? All right. And this is palette number 3. This is the last palette. This to me features a sort of a nostalgic feel of comfort and optimism. It's rich and warm, and it has that masculine blue to complement the warmth. But this palette makes me think of Polaroids and a time when things were a lot more simpler. And it's optimism and joy, and there's an energy that's quite nice to this. So these are your 3 palettes, and I have questions that we can go over with right now to kind of talk about them, but I'm also going to send them home with you when I give you the PDF so you guys can all talk about this amongst yourselves. So right off the hop, which color palette resonates most with the emotions and atmosphere you want to evoke during your performance? Is it the Polaroid one, the tranquil one, or like a prairie fire?
I like the first one. I like this one here, tranquil one myself.
That's called tranquil?
Oh, I don't know. They're just option 1, option 2, and option 3. We'll say that for ease.
Right, what?
Yeah.
For me, it's 1 and then, or 3.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys are you're gonna have to come together, and there's a bunch of questions that will help you answer this. Like, how do you envision each color palette complementing your brand's image? Are you considering your target audience when you're doing this? How do you see each color palette align with the venues and events that you're at? You know, do they work at festivals? Do you think any of the color palettes might be more memorable or distinctive compared to others? And if so, why? In terms of versatility and adaptability to different performance settings and themes, which color palette do you believe offers the most flexibility? So there's a bunch of questions I will get you guys to answer. I really want you to think about them, and you will have to come up with one together. I'm sorry, I gave you 3.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fun.
Okay. Logo concepts. So this is the logo concept phase. I am giving you 2 examples on the direction, like based on the direction from your guys' questionnaire. These are the ones I'm showing you, they're not usable. These are just ideas, and because they are so heavily detailed, I need to know which one you guys want me to go into. So this I'm going to call option 1 as well. This aligns well with Prairie Charms Band as it evokes a vintage aesthetic that resonates with their country and rock music style. The use of old-fashioned bar signs and rococo swirls adds a sense of nostalgia and authenticity, reflecting the band's connection to traditional music roots. What I want to do is get rid of the flowers, because I'm not a fan of the flowers. And I know you guys are going to have to lean in. But you see this rococo art swirl? in place of the flowers, I would like to see that, but wisps of like prairie flowers that come in. Very delicate, easy. I want to see this image right here that kind of looks like a key. I wouldn't mind it being a banjo or a guitar. You know, they have since 2021 here in the bottom. We can either get rid of it or put in actually like a date where you and, you know, like who was the firstborn child? You know, I don't know. You can come up with a date because you guys have been singing around campfires for a long time. Or maybe put in 2023 when you guys put it up, you know, whatever. You don't even have to have the date. And then I ended up finding the same thing on a t-shirt somewhere else. Shocked the heck out of me, but this is what like a t-shirt would look like. I put it in there just as an idea. Like, so if you're wondering, like scaling wise, what that would look like.
Oh, okay.
All right. And then option 2 is it's the other version, which you guys were talking about, having a word mark and an illustration.
Oh, yeah.
Combination mark. So the illustration designed around the name adds a personal touch and emphasizes the brand's identity. The use of a prairie scene complements the brand's name and evokes a sense of nostalgia and connection to nature. And the classic feel resonates with the band's country and rock music style with the potential for modern elements. So this is a more modern kind of way of putting it, like making your band's logo stand out. If you guys went with this, I need to know, like, do you want like a wraparound or do you want more of this fun, I'm not even sure what to call this, vintage look, I guess. Okay. And the questions that that I will send you are, you know, what are your initial thoughts and impressions of each concept? How well do you think each concept represents Prairie Charm's identity? And which elements of each concept do you like the most and why? You know, just more stuff like this. So am I in the right direction with these 2 concepts? You think so?
Mhm.
Okay. We're not sure yet. So I need you to give me.
They don't really appeal to me.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
So let's open that a little bit. So what is not appealing?
Well, this is more appealing. I guess the next 2 were not.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one? Oh, okay. Okay. So there is like a nice direction. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially with what the changes, like I want to get away from the flowers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the logo at all.
Me too.
And so, you know where the word brandwood is?
Yeah.
That could be, like Teresa was mentioning, that could be a guitar there, you know. And then the banjo could be the distilling. Where the distilling. But the main, it shouldn't be a banjo as the main instrument. That's all. But I still like, because that kind of looks like instruments even right now. Yeah.
But then
I personally feel that we need to have the guitar. Because, you know, that's, like, when we think about campfire, you know, coming into the family, that's what we did. We sat around the campfire. It was Morris, Mike, and Brad, and they were all playing guitars.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of where it stems from.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong in saying that?
Yeah.
But I feel that the guitar is a main focus.
Okay.
What I like to see, and I'm agreeing about no flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe a little less on the swirls and stuff like that.
Yeah, these this like filigree stuff, I'm not into it right here, but I want this like I want a little bit of this, but with like a wisp of like something that looks like a weed flower. I don't know how to explain it, so I will show you that in the
like a prairie.
like a prairie weed
like a string of wheat or something.
Yeah, like some stuff like that brings in the country feel to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm concerned with what it would look like, you know, printed out on a shirt or embroidered, like embroidered on a hat. You know, once you get to a small logo, then
I don't think it would be embroidered. Hey, Jen, that would be too much money to embroider that. I think that would be
on a hat.
Oh, so
hat.
so this is just the beginning. So I'm gonna go jump to here now. for next steps because we're kind of talking about next steps. So for on your end, I need you guys to give me feedback on your archetype to let me know if what you think did I nail it? Do you not feel like it's part of you? Do I need to explore a little bit more? And then I need you to make a decision on the color palette. And I need you to, and also, I'm not going to do that. That's going to open a can of worms. All right. And then make a decision on the direction of the logo that you want me to go in. But it all feels like option 1 is where you want me to go. Now I will come back and I will do a logo V1. There are 3 V3s, and I do this to protect myself because I can go down a rabbit hole with a client where they're like, no, and they keep asking and they keep changing, and I get exhausted and we're not having fun anymore. So there are 3. Version 1, version 2, and by version 3, in version 3, you should go, it should be sounding like, who brought him? So awkward.
Scotty.
So version 3 will be like minute detail changes. In version 3, we should not be having someone go, you know what would be nice? A whole drum kit in the background. Like that doesn't get brought up in version 3. That gets brought up after I do version 1. Okay? I just want to set my boundaries and make that very clear. Okay?
For sure.
All right. 3 typography options is what I'm also going to be doing, because once I get into making this style out, there is type that will also fit with you guys, and you will have logos and type that work with everything. All right, logo variations. So what I just showed you back here, when I'm done with this, you guys are going to have your primary logo, which will be this. Then you're going to have just the word mark. Then you're going to have word marks with filigrees around, because what happens with logo variations is back in the day, you used to have a primary logo, it went on the top of your building, and that's all that you got. But now we have social media, avatar icons, we have posters, and there's so much more, and things need to be versatile. So when you say, I want to have a hat, you will just have, like if this was your company, it would just say Brandwood. But it would be in the font, and it would probably have like a little piece of filigree. So you're not breaking the bank when you want to do something, okay?
Right. Yeah, it makes sense.
All right. So there we go, guys. There is...
Oh,
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
right on, Jen.
Very good.
And I made it under an hour, so Google won't kick me out.
You did awesome. Good, good
Very
work.
good.
All right.
Never been branded before.
I know, but don't let it freak you out. Like that Elon Musk thing, you know, it kind of like branding might make you feel like a little bit imposter syndrome. Like, because when I'm done with you guys are going to be like, people are going to be like, how did you pay for this? You know, like who set you up, you know? And you guys are just going to be like, we know somebody.
Here's
We
the
know
card.
somebody.
Right.
So, I mean, you're
Is that too loud?
what's too loud?
My truck?
No, I can't hear your truck at all.
Can't hear your
Can't hear it at all.
You're just
Oh,
pretending.
Make sure you
That's
keep
it.
your eyes on the road.
No eating KFC and driving.
Jenna, I was saying to Michael that when we read the archetype, am I too loud?
Nope.
The archetype, the every man's list, is that right?
Yeah.
I like what it said there. I said to him, I can see that making you feel more comfortable because you are the everyman. You're not pretending to be something else. It's like I can see this helping, especially him with his talking on stage to feel more comfortable.
Yes, and I even have like I really kind of dove in a little bit because I wanted to make sure if you guys had any questions, I wasn't like a stumbling buffoon. And while I was doing my research, it really listed out a lot of information. And I've only gone to one show, and I was like, I can't remember if Michael started to do stories or not. But like even the Everyman and the Caregiver will direct you on how you're gonna bring out those stories and things that you're gonna tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Gives that direction of what to be saying on stage. Yeah.
And every time you guys like find yourself, you can come in. Every time you guys find yourself like having a fight with each other, go back to the values, go back to the whatever I called them, not values, not an archetype, traits or whatever they were, and just read them out loud again and just be like, look, guys, this is us. That is not us. All right. You want to say hi?
Yeah, nice.
Hi! Hi!
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hello. Sloan is somewhere in the house. I don't know. Anyways. All right, guys.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. What I'm going to do...
What do we do? What do we do from now?
Okay.
From here?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to send the PDF of what I just did. I also recorded this, so Monique, if she wants to, can review it on a recording.
Good.
Then I have questions that'll be in the email that will go over your color so that you guys can get aligned with that. And you can also answer the questions for the logo and make sure you answer them for me. So if there's anything maybe you guys say that I might go, oh, that kind of is a good idea. You know, like, because initially this process is your guys's. I can only educate you on how it works, but in the end, you guys are the ones that pick the colors, you pick the logo, how it works, all of it. So, and then once I get all that information and I do a V1, and if you guys already know, the next time that we can meet, we can settle it right now. If you have a date. If not, that's okay. We can wrap. We'll get it. Me and Teresa will talk. We'll get it. Okay?
We're just basically have to wait for Monique's schedule. That's all.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
For the most part.
Yep. And sometimes I'll do some things where we can't meet or I can't meet, but I can loom videos. And what it is it's a 5-minute video and it is fast. But what you have you get to pause it, slow it down. You know, like, what did she just say? She sounded like a chipmunk. You know, like, pause it. And then everyone can watch it and you can all have consensus on how things. And so there's an easy process through this whole thing.
Awesome. Oh, they're both there.
They're so excited
Boy,
now.
they changed a lot. Yeah, so cute.
You gotta work it. You're
Yeah.
working it.
All right, guys. Have a wonderful evening, and I
You
hope
too.
to hear from you soon. Okay?
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Happy birthday,
How do you get off of it?
He can't get out.
Are you dad gonna